Good morning and welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bill. This is Brock Shimano. Today is July 23rd, and for the first time in a very long time, we've seen the markets go into the negative here throughout the entire complex. Let's take a look at corn over here for the December contract, trading down 2 3/4 at $7.93. Beans for the November contract, trading down 44 1/4 at $16.42, and wheat down 16 right now at $9.32, with Kansas City on its tail at down 10 1/2. Brock, why are we selling off this morning?
You know, Cody, I think there's a couple of reasons why we are seeing a sell-off. We're seeing the macro markets sell off pretty sharply due to some Spanish debt concerns that are coming out of the European Union right now. We saw their bonds actually reach an all-time high of over 7% on their government debt. So that's kind of concerning. Macro markets are weighing on the commodity markets as well. But I think the second reason is that we saw precipitation prospects improve over the weekend for the later part of this week and into next weekend. If you take a look at these maps provided by our friends at Planalytics, you'll see that as we move through the week, we'll see up to 2 inches of rain, 2 to 3 inches of rain in northern parts of the growing region. That's going to help those guys out, but the part that concerns me the most is that the southern part of Illinois and Indiana looks like they're going to be missing the vast majority of this good precipitation that's coming through there.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is very true. I mean, if you take a look at Indiana and Illinois, it looks as though it's going to be scattered thunder showers. So we're going to have to really be very, very vigilant here and pay close attention to what rain actually hits the ground, how much, and where. One of the big things, though, that I'm concerned about here when I look at the weather forecast, sure, we are getting some rain in the northern part, but that was we had better crop conditions up there. Take a look at Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, all those areas, Missouri, all those areas are dry and are continuing to be dry. They don't show any signs of precipitation here in the coming days. I think that's concerning because when you look at Nebraska, we're 43% good to excellent. Sure, that's bad for the last couple years, but if you look at that compared to Indiana and Illinois, 8% and 11% good to excellent, Nebraska is doing well compared to those hit hardest by the drought. So I'm concerned here that the weather forecast, though it is showing positive signs for the north, really the western part of the Corn Belt is not showing any sort of positive signs, and I think that's the story that we have to read into.
You know, Cody, we've seen the market sell off this morning, and you know this looks like it's going to be a slight downtrend today. But do you think that's going to hold going forward?
Yeah, I think this morning, we're seeing some selling, and we're seeing it mostly in the beans here because of that moisture. That really is going to affect beans more than corn right now because corn really has been hurt a lot of the times kind of beyond help. I mean, it'll improve a little bit, but certainly not to the yields that we need. I think that this whole drought has gone so national. It's so frequently reported in the national news that I think a lot of participants that don't typically trade grain, we have a lot of money now flowing in. And I think that's what we saw last week. So what I get concerned about is when we get a little bit of this selling, it can be augmented by these weaker longs. As soon as they don't see a return on their initial investment, they may exit, and that can augment these sell-offs. So just beware of that sort of scenario. We could see this turn into a little bit of a selling position, but I don't think the weather conditions have changed fundamentally to warrant a significant reversal.
You know, I'm right along with you on those thoughts, Cody. You know, we've seen beans sell off over 40 cents this morning. We saw light volume in the overnight session. We were actually quite a bit lower on corn than what we are now. We saw the pit open. A lot more volume came into the market, and we saw a lot of buying come back in. We're off the lows of what we were in the overnight. So I think trade's really going to be paying attention to what happens this afternoon in the crop progress and conditions ratings. Analysts are looking for about 3 to 5% reduction in those ratings. So if that does happen, I think we will see some more buying come in the overnight session.
That's fair enough. Well, follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook. Give us a call at 877-472-4607. We'll see you tomorrow.